You are listening to the Tracy L. Clark Show with me, Tracy L., where I'm going to empower you and teach you how to live your extraordinary life. Tune in every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where I combine ministry, science, and spirituality to reveal the steps you need to let go of your perceived limitations. Have you had the limiting self-talk over and over? Have you noticed you allow your fears to hold you back? If you're truly ready for change, I invite you to join me, Tracy L. Clark, and start your journey of transformation now. Welcome to another episode of the Tracy L. Clark Show. I am so happy to have you here. Of course, as always, I'm your host, Tracy L. And every week we have something new that will only shift your life, change your life, inspire you. But we love to bring guests on as well that can have a lot of fun. And I'm so excited about today's show. Before we get going, though, I want to let you know, check out tracylclark.com. As the body whisperer, what do I do? And why am I known as that? It's because I had to restore and regenerate my own body. So I developed the body regeneration method, which came from me having to do this for 9 years. And with that, we find the shifts and changes around the world. Things are changing really quickly. And you guys know that. You probably sense it. You know, the old is done and it's time to step into the new. So because we're playing and having a lot of fun today, if you actually go to the Global Online Events, 90 minutes of sifting and shifting you once a month, I do an online event to help people just like you get into the new energy and clear it. And we actually, if you hit the May event and you go under the attend and enter the coupon code May Day, you will actually be able to receive 50% off that call. It is in honor of our call today of playing and having fun and really about leaving the past behind and opening it all up to new and play. And that is why I am so excited today that we have an incredible guest with us, Meg Vickell, who is actually, we call her the modern day Dolittle. And if you want to talk to her about your animals, you can call in. I always have to check with Carter, our amazing producer, on our number, because I sometimes get it backwards, 1-800-930-2819. If you followed me, you know I have two incredible little helpers in my life, Cloud, my white Persian, and Maggie, who is actually a Persian and a Himalayan, who brings so much love and healing and restoring. And what so many people forget is your animals have these beautiful messages for you, and they have beautiful, beautiful stories to tell you, but they're also incredible healers in your life. And we forget that. We know we love them. And you know, how many times have you even noticed? I noticed if I have a little bit of an off day, there's that cat there purring away. And if a client, you know, is having a more difficult session, there's the kitties coming up. And a lot of people see them in my videos on my Instagram. And this is why I love what Meg does. She is not only aware, enlightened, in tune, she is a light worker out there like the rest of us, but working through your animals. So Meg, I'm so happy to have you here today. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
You're gonna
Thank
have
you so
some
much.
fun. You know, I know we're on Facebook Live, and I know we hit all these outlets, and I'm so happy that you decided to join us when I asked you, because you have this incredible rare gift. And you really have a gift. And watching you work, listening, you've worked with many of my clients and their animals. What was that knowing that all of a sudden, because I get little things with animals, but not like you at all. What was that little knowing that all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I have this gift. They're telling me things.
You know what? Let's just say hindsight is 2020. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me on. I'm incredibly grateful and then humbled at the opportunity to come on and chat with you and whoever comes in to
call it and find out what their little furry friends have to say. I'm going to give that number 1-800-930-2819 again. So if you want to know what your furry friends are saying, this is the time.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just thinking back, and it's interesting because it's kind of it's not your usual story as to how someone came to know their gifts, and hindsight is 2020. I actually had to get thumped over the head a few times. I often frequented mediums and channels and psychics of that nature, and always like, who's good, who's interesting, and I always took some stuff away. And there's one in Nevada that I'd worked with several times, and I was going to her I'm going to caveat this by saying this is not my first career. I've always been in marketing, PR, communications, worked agency side. I went in-house. I worked corporate for a long time, worked for eBay, still very technically challenged. So it's any wonder that, that happened. And then I went freelance. I started my own company, and you'd think that would be like the pivotal of it all, and that would be the best optimal situation to be for my career. But I was actually not feeling it, and I went to her and I said, I want to talk about my career. My guides came in and said, you need to start with your animal communications. And I was like, no, like I already do that. I do marketing and PR for pet brands. And so I went away, went back, we had another visit. And I said, I want to talk about my career again. I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm at a dead end. And came in again, animal communications. At the time, I didn't even know what an animal communicator was. And I remember her name's Araya. Araya stopped the reading and she goes, listen, I need to tell you, you're not hearing the message that's coming through. You have this innate ability, and the way you see things and the way you connect with animals, people don't connect like that. And in fact, you spent, and this is having to believe in reincarnation, you've spent multiple lifetimes as an animal communicator. So it's about time you get on that bike and start riding it. Because when you get on, it's like riding a bike. You just go and then you go. And so that's what I did. And everything is unraveled very quickly. I'll say I've only been at it for about a year. But I kind of came out about it when I started my Instagram account in July, and it's been amazing. If I could step outside of my body and look in on myself, I'd see that everyone doesn't see the things that I see. And there's some dots being connected from, the earliest stages of being bit by my own dog, and a dog that led me down a path that ended up breaking my ankle. And, they're not the most like glamorous stories, but at the same time, they are my journey, and that's what I embrace. And I'm so grateful for this gift that's been bestowed upon me. And when I do a reading, I do an introductory prayer, and I thank God for these gifts, because, there's a service that I have to do. And that was part of the messages coming through during this other reading, where I was saying, you're an animal communicator. It's like, you need to help people. We need to raise the vibration of this planet. And so that's where we're at. So there's your long-winded story.
No, and I love it because you've actually been at it a lot longer, but your focus and attention is, so people listening know, has really come in huge over the last year, because you always did have the gifts. You were always, it's funny. I love how you say, like, you do, and you still do, right? The marketing, the PR around the animals, because you love them so much. But they go hand in hand, because I think when you really start to understand why your pets are chosen, you've chosen them, they've chosen you.
Yes.
And, and I want to tell a quick story about pets, and you'll love this. And I haven't shared it before. And then I want to get to our first caller, is Cloud, who you've met, my big fluffy white Persian, who's such a love bug. When he was found in a kennel shelter in Montreal and brought to Burlington, Ontario. And on my birthday, we adopted him. But what the lady said was, it was so interesting. So my daughter had gone in a couple of days prior and had seen him, and she fell in love with him. She goes, Mommy, we got to go get this cat. He is amazing. He's a big love muffin. When we went in, he jumps up on the lap. So he was so friendly. And the lady looked and she said, that's odd. Do you know all these other people tried to come in the last couple of days, and he hid and he didn't say anything, and he was so unfriendly. They're like, I don't want this cat. He's so unfriendly. And my daughter looked at me and she goes, yeah, that's because he was waiting for us to come back. He knew. And he is the most affectionate, lovely little, like both of them, such love muffins. And this is what I think people even overlook, the fact that they think, oh, we went and picked them. Yes. But they really pick us. And
absolutely,
much to do with us.
And what you said there, it's like, people always say, how do you pick an animal? How do you pick a puppy? And I said, you don't. They pick you, just go. And you know what? You can do it very passively. You can just be looking around. You just put the intention out there that I'm looking for an animal. Yeah. You can say, I'm looking for a dog, I'm looking for a cat. You can specify. There obviously are parameters if you have allergies and things like that. But a lot of it is just leading with your heart and just following it. And sometimes they find you. They show up on your doorstep. So many people I've done readings with, they said, they all found me. I literally yesterday, a woman said, they all found me. And I go, okay, well, there's a fourth one coming, so let it find you. Let it find you. Bring it in. But
there's a fourth one.
But Tracy, I was brushing my teeth this morning, And I'm just the messenger. I always say that I'm just the messenger.
Yes,
And
I get it.
I have to just give the message. And they're not always, like you said, they're not always like, deep and meaningful. Sometimes it's just very topical. And so this morning I was brushing my teeth and I was like, oh, there's Cloud. And I saw him on my Instagram and I saw you guys in that wonderful photo. And the message that came through, I'm just going to give it to you, was just put out the garbage. So you got to put the garbage out. I don't know if you've been forgetting or missing or, it's smelling. I'm just going to leave that with you. But that's what Cloud's saying. Put out the garbage. Okay.
Well, it's funny because he was with me all weekend. He said, I took out all the garbage yesterday. He was with me all weekend as I was literally purging.
Oh, there you go.
So
Cleaning house.
great message, cleaning house.
Yeah.
I was purging
Yeah.
and he was following me everywhere as I was purging. So bang on. We'll keep purging together. He's a great purger. I want to have some fun. Are you okay? We're going to bring Magdalene in. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah.
You're ready. All right, Carter. We have Magdalene on the phone and anyone else. 1-800-930-2819. This is your chance to find out what your little furry friends are saying while we have Meg here.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm so excited to talk to you.
Good.
I have two beautiful kitty cats, and they're just amazing. And I totally agree. They were chosen for us, like they chose us. But I have a cat. Her name is Bella, and she has been going through some major transitions and has been just transforming right before our eyes. And I'm wondering if there's anything that she's trying to get through to us.
Okay, say her name again for me.
It's actually her name is Bella, but her given name by the adoption people was oh my goodness, it was Abby.
Okay. That's okay. Sometimes they do come with multiple names, and we usually kind of go with the one that resonates with you, and so that's Bella because that's what you gave her, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so because I am clairvoyant, I see a lot of images, also clairsentient, clairaudient sometimes, but the first thing she's giving to me as a way to communicate to you is she's showing me a flower opening up, okay? So what I'm getting from that is it is a good change, though you may feel like it's challenging for you and challenging for her right now, it's going to be okay, is the message coming through. Does that resonate with you?
Absolutely. She has been just getting more and more like affectionate and open. So like, it's just that's amazing. Cause like, I feel like she's coming into her own space. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I see it like, it's very intricate. It's a very delicate flower and there's lots of petals. So you're going to see the petals as phases as the opening up. Okay. So the thing is to just to be with her, and that is to be in the moment with her as she's going through the different things, and you can communicate with her. We all forget that we can't, like, you don't have to go through me. You can communicate with her all the time and say, I'm here, I'm with you. And this is a big word that's coming through, is safety, and that you're not taking her back anywhere and she's not going anywhere. This is where she's staying and this is for good. So those are the key things, and safety is definitely coming up a few times there, is just letting her know that she is safe and secure and that she is loved. So I want you to make sure that those messages go back to her, relay them again. She needs that reassurance. This is a cat that's had some struggles. She's going through challenges now, but we're going to see, like, beyond the flower, it's just going to be it's like beautiful bright flower, and it's lush and it's full of life. So there's better days to come, if you will.
Yeah, no, this is right on point. I'm so excited because it's just great confirmation for me. So thank you.
Good.
Very much.
Yeah, I can feel your heart opening as a result of this. So yeah, amen to that.
Of course, when she it's kind of like when your little Bella goes through transition. It's sort of like the humans, right? You can see is that the fears that come up, if I transition and change, am I going to be disregarded? Which is quite interesting because humans go through that. And your little Bella seems to be picking that up. I love when you said safety. I got huge chills because you could see that. And what a beautiful, beautiful message. Do you have anything? Do you want to ask about your other cat?
Yeah.
If you have anything to share for my little Apollo, my nickname for him is Munchie.
Oh, I love it.
He munches on everything.
I love it.
But
well, he got
really great.
he came in much like I'm going to say, just like the name, there's no coincidence in the naming too. So he did come in like a little bit of a rocket. He was quite excited that he was going to get the opportunity to communicate. Given that Bella is now in the situation, we want to make sure that, because sibling rivalry does happen between animals, we just want to make sure there's an equal sharing of things. Okay. So again, with the chewy and the treats and things like that, we want to make sure that you're doling out equal numbers. He's very diligent about like, well, what did she just get? Make sure I get the same or similar, right?
Yeah.
The other thing I want to bring in is, as much as there's a similarity in the shareness, there's also the individuality of the respective cats. So they don't want to lose that. So one thing that you might do special for Bella, you might do something special for Apollo, but that is still different. That resonates with both of them. It's kind of like, just like having that one-on-one unique relationship with them, maintaining it, because Apollo's used to being the one. Okay. So that you want to invite new opportunities for both of them. Okay.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a struggle because he's very much an attention hog.
Mm-hmm. That's why he got so excited when we invited him in. Like he literally did like a little Apollo rocket, like blasting off into space. Like he's a really excitable cat. And it seems like you're going to have a lot of fun between the two of them. It's a growing phase. Like these initial days and weeks and months, even months. I do feel months. It might even be a year, but like there's always going to be something, and it's just really enjoying the cats together. Now you have to remember there's relationships between cats too, and sometimes they've shared past lives together. Sometimes it might have been kind of tumultuous. Other times it's been quite wonderful, and they're a bonded pair. So watch the dynamics between the two of them, because there's some lessons there as well for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your insight.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Love it. So cute. 1-800-930-2819 if you have a question for Meg. You know, what are some of the, I guess, fun? Could you share some of the stories of some of the animals, of experiences that have come through that you just sort of stand out? Because again, I think people really need to hear those. There's a big healing message in them.
Well, you just said the word that came to me as soon as you started to ask the question, which was healing.
Yeah.
The most profound healing happens on these phone calls. And I want to say the animals bring their people to me. People say, I just turned on the radio and I heard you. I was on FM 93.5 last week. And a lot of people email said, I never listened to FM 93.5. I was changing channels, heard your voice. I listened for 10 seconds. I thought, I need to speak to her. I said, you can thank your animal for that. And then we get on the phone and we do, because I do communication with animals here and past.
Yeah.
The animals that have passed come through and they have messages for healing. Now we're talking animals that have passed 10, 15, 20 years ago, and there's unresolved business. One of the most beautiful things I ever experienced in a reading was a woman came in with her new puppy. Actually, puppy wasn't there because puppy was at training school. So she came in alone because I don't need the animal in front of me to read it. And we started talking. And a unique thing about my connection is that oftentimes there's messages for the people that come through. So I connect to the soul of the animal as well as their human. And this was very unique for me because I hadn't experienced it yet, but her mother came through. Okay. And the messages was that you need to grieve and you need to heal from the loss of your mother so you can open up your heart to this new puppy, because this puppy has unconditional love to give you, but you're still, part of your heart is closed off. And I could see the visuals coming through. So what you think, you don't know, because you come for a reading with me, it gets a little bit deeper. Okay. So it's a bit of a switcheroo. The animal's like, no, I want to talk about you now. So it's like, oh, yeah. This feels that if I wanted a human reading, I would have gone to someone else. And I thought, well, I have to preface that each time. So it's really important. But the healing is just, it's miraculous. And I'm so grateful. And when the tears come, I say to people, let it go and let it flow. You have to. Like, this is your opportunity. They've brought you here. So just honor the experience. That's beautiful.
Well, I think so often what people forget too is literally, like, when we had a kitty, Misty, when she passed, she was 21, but she was the same age as my daughter. And, you know, she, and then my other daughter who had one, Victor, is super close, passed at 5 years old, not too long ago. And they were their secret keepers and they were their best friends. And I think people, and just says, oh, yeah, okay, Victor's all over the place. A little guy, I don't know. You might make him up. He's like, oh, there's that, like, he's always working with me. But it's like, They do. They become our secret keepers. So I'm not surprised that they're going to have messages for their owners as well of what is happening.
Oh yeah, all the time, and people don't give them enough credit. Is they are
Yeah.
here, and when they transition, they're still energetically with us. We are such tangible, physical here and now people. That's a human experience, but
Yeah.
then they transition, and it's honoring. It's honoring that their energy still is alive. Now, the messages that come through while they're here on this earthly plane with us is that of like every animal comes to this earth either to teach, to heal, or just to be a companion. Usually it's more than one of those
Yeah.
things. When they transition, it's more just encouragement, a lot of cheerleading and messages that come through, just
Yeah.
a lot of memories too, just so they can remind their people that they are still at work, and signs as well.
Yeah. And opening that, expanding.
Mhm.
I'm going to ask because I keep hearing it. So I'm going to ask if you can tune into Victor, and there's a reason. My big
Okay.
orange cat.
Okay. Okay.
More probably for my youngest daughter.
Mhm.
See, that's going to
Mhm.
make me emotional.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I
Yeah,
think
and I
she needs
can
to
feel
hear
it
this, and
too.
she can't hear the show right now, and so I'm going to do this for her. If anybody else wants to call in, I know sometimes our show time, you guys are like, I'm at work. I wish I could have done that later. 1-800-930-2819. But I actually want to break through because I know there's a lot that still goes on there.
Well, the first thing I'm getting, and I'm not sure if there's a birthday coming up or something around, but I'm getting a cake. So there's a cake being presented. Okay. I also, as soon as you brought up his name, I got this sense of like a shared soul. So he shared soul with what would have been another animal at some point, which is why he was taken so soon. Okay. So oftentimes the energy comes into a physical body, and yeah, and it's too much because they're sharing the same physical body. So this would have been a cat from before. How it's connected, I'm not getting the answer, but
Yeah.
that's the answer is why he kind of left. How old did you say he was?
He was 5.
Yeah, she's
He's
quite
a
young.
baby. He's a baby. Yeah.
Do you have a question for him specifically?
I don't know if I have it's, the little soul. It's interesting when people talk about this because he's always around. He's always opening doors.
Mm-hmm,
He did he's a protector cat, huge orange tabby, like strong guy. And we knew it was his time because I kept telling them what was wrong with him, but the doctors wouldn't listen. And then after
Yeah.
it was too late, they're like, yeah, that's what was wrong. But then they had started too late. But I guess that I think of the comforting messages, around understanding, like even when my daughter every day, she still says, I miss him, but he's here. I see him. I see cats like him. I
Well,
see him.
yeah, because
He's
the eye
constantly.
connection's coming through. Like his
Yeah.
eyes are very
Oh yeah.
like I don't know what color they were, but to me, the way I'm seeing them
Yeah.
is like very yellowy, like really. This is a very in tune cat. So this
Yeah.
it seems like Victor's not done. He may come back for her at a point when it's quite pivotal for her in terms of her own development and ascension and things like that. So I do see him like for a big cat, he's trying to like skirt corners and get under stuff, and he's just saying, "Don't cut the corners. Just stay the course, stay the path." Okay, so that's like a big message for her. Oftentimes, we want to get going in life, and we want things to unravel, but everything in due course and due time. So he's a big cat; he can't actually get under like the crevice of a door, and in these spots, he's showing that's okay. Like there's another way. There's another door that will open. So just have faith and like keep going. Yeah.
I'll give it. She's gonna love that so much. And I tell people, you don't know, like he's the kind of cat. If you came to the house and you had bad juju on you, he would literally like howl at you. And people are like, why is he howling at me? And I'm like, they're like, does he like me? I'm like, no.
He's the dog. Yeah.
Oh, he would howl, and I love that. I absolutely love how that is. I know we have to go to a break soon, so tell people, how can they find you? How can they get a hold of you? They want to know because a lot of people do listen to our show later, obviously, because we're all over the place, and we want people. How can they connect with you? What's the best way? You just said that they do not need to be in front of you. We're here on, on the video talking, and you're getting these great messages. So what's the best way?
The best way. Okay. So I am very active on Instagram. Of course, Instagram is not for everyone, but it's modern_day_Dolittle. You can reach me at my website, which is all one word, modern day Dolittle. Dolittle, not like the original Dr. Dolittle, but the Dolittle as in Meg Dolittle, which is D-O, just one O, little, Little.com. And you can reach me on Facebook as well. I think that's the best way. And reach out anytime, even if you have questions about the process. I'm big on education and awareness, and that definitely comes from my PR marketing background. And I understand hindsight's 2020 why I'm doing this. So that's how you reach me.
Absolutely. You can always find the links when you're on cruising the show below if you're on YouTube, but also just so you know, you can also go through my Instagram. I know we have many of you on there. If you want to find Meg, you will find her there. So if you're having trouble, just always let us know. We'll make sure we connect you, because we want to make sure that you understand what's happening. So we're going to take a quick break. And after the break, I'm going to dive in a little bit more with Meg around animal communication and a little bit more what those little animals are trying to tell you, and some of the most interesting animals she's ever read. I'm not talking just a dog or a cat. So call in 1-800-930-2819, and we will be right back after the break. Welcome back. We are here with our own modern day Dolittle Meg. I just love you, Meg. Your energy, your spirit, your ability to tune into animals is literally, I just had a weird deja vu. Okay, we'll take that. It's really incredible. So I know sometimes 1-800-930-2819. If you want to call in and ask her a question, ask her. This is your time. And I know some people are like, I'm afraid, but this is your time to actually do that. And we do have a little bit of space here. But one of the things I want to ask about, what's some of the most interesting animals you've read outside of a dog or a cat? Because they all have feelings, and I don't like snakes. Okay. I don't like snakes, but I'm sure they have feelings too. So
yes, they all. So what I can connect with all species, domestic and the wild, collectives of animals and what their purpose are. Dolphins for healing the ocean, things like that as a collective message. But then in terms of interesting critters, yesterday, I did some hermit crabs.
Oh my gosh, really?
It was so cool.
Do they live like in communities, hermit crabs, or is it they just have one?
No, they had two, which they actually really liked. They liked the cohabitation. They really liked that there were two. There was a body temperature heat exchange between the two of them that they could share in. If the temperature of their terrarium wasn't warm enough or cool enough, they all ways to manage the temperatures. And what was really interesting is it was a glass terrarium of obviously 4 walls, and they tap at the glass. Why do they tap at the glass? They tap the glass, and I said, do they leave a mark on the glass? And she said, yeah, actually they mark up the glass. I said, that's because they want to know the stop and start of the glass. That's like their perception of their safety of their surroundings. So safety area number 1 is their actual, because hermit crabs have a shell, is their shell. Number 2 is the glass around them. So they want to be aware and wary, because there are 4 cats in the home. 4 cats. There's going to be 4 cats because there's one coming, but there's 3 cats in the home. And it's amazing. So hermit crabs. I did 2 bearded dragons not too long ago. Done horses. I've done elephants. When I did my mentorship, Maya Kincaid, she's fabulous. She's PhD, 30 years at it, written 6 books on the topic, and she brought me under her wing. And
I know who you're talking about.
She's brilliant. This woman is really, really kind too.
Yeah.
Like wonderful soul, wonderful mentor, and just lets you have your space to learn. And she brought in elephants and tigers. And there's a woman, she's a caretaker for a zoo out in LA. And she had me do her leopards and tigers and wolves. It was so neat. Like just... I'll take more of that.
I'll take more of that. Get you traveling. Okay, we have Carrie on the line. So Carter, can we bring Carrie in for Meg?
Yeah, we have Carrie from Toronto. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Carrie.
Hi, how are you, ladies?
Hi, Carrie.
Great show.
Thank you. What's your question for Meg? I know. Oh, yeah, you got 2 little babies.
I have my sweet Sam that I love and adore, and then I'm taking care of Mitzi for the year. And I've been actually doing quite a bit of traveling, and I leave them at home with various sitters all the time. I don't know if there's something that's I hope they're okay. Maybe that's what you can tell me. Say, yes, Carrie, they're okay. Or whatever you need to say.
Yeah. Okay, so you got Sam. And say the other name because it didn't come through very clearly for me here.
Mitzi is who I'm dog sitting for the year.
Missy. Missy, Missy?
No, Mitzi.
Oh, there we go. That's better. Now that I got that. Okay, so we want to know about their caretakers, their babysitters.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Sure.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm getting that they
Traveled
don't
quite a
come.
bit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they showed me your suitcases right away, and that they're obviously very aware of when you're coming and going. There's a lot of crying at the door for you. So you are missed. It seems like they actually cry a little bit more when they know you're coming home. So, cats are very, very psychics themselves when it comes to different species of animals. So, there is an awareness going on there. I do get that these two individuals come separately to see the cats. They're not always coming
The
together.
dogs.
Sorry, the
they're
dogs. I've got cats coming through. Okay. So they don't always like both of them. Okay. So one of them they're liking more than the other. Okay. So there may be one that you need to let go of. Like there might be one that isn't the best caretaker for them. We're liking the other one.
Oh, so like the current one?
I'm getting the one. Okay, let's see if there's a message that comes for the one who's filling up the water bowl the most, because it seems like one's forgetting the water bowl, or is leaving it kind of half full. Okay, so we want the water bowl nice and full for them, and like everything's left fresh and things like that for when they go.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's hard, right? Because how do you discern between who's leaving the water bowl and who's not? Let's see if there's another message that comes through. Okay, so do you have these ladies in your home when you're present? Or either one of them? Do you have either of these people in your house?
One came to visit over Easter, yeah.
Okay, so the one that's present in your house, that one of them will follow around a lot. Okay, there's a lot of, it's not between the two of them, there's one. Okay, and I'm getting it might be more Mitzi.
Mm-hmm.
That's following this person around.
Mitzi follows her around everywhere, yeah.
Okay, this is the one that you're keeping, okay? Between the two. Now, if they have it their way, again, obviously it's ultimately your decision, but these are the messages coming through from them.
Okay, so Mitzi likes her, yeah, because she follows her around everywhere.
Yeah, okay, so this is the one they want to talk about, and this is the one they want to focus on.
Okay.
So, but there is this longing for you to keep coming back. So I don't know if you can let them know your travel plans. I think communicating that would be really good. Feels a little bit funny if you're not used to communicating so much with them, because what happens is the last sign for them is when the suitcases come out. Okay, so a little bit more information, a little bit sooner.
Okay,
can you
how
do
do
that?
I do that?
Talk to them, just like we're doing it right now. So you can just say, like, this is where I'm going, this is how long I'm going to be gone for, I'm going to be back on this day. So just you can keep it simple. You can let them know what you're doing. I'm going for business, I'm going for pleasure, whatever it may be. So just keep the dialogue open. Animals
Actually,
love that.
Tracy told me a while ago to like give them the days and the moons when I'll be gone, and I do that with Sam, but I guess I need to do it more.
They say you need a good 5 days before too. Like they need that prep time, because Sam gets separation anxiety. So
yeah, so we want you to definitely do it like sooner than the day of. Like the suitcase is the last. Like that's going to get the anxiety going. Okay, so we want to dissipate some of that by giving them, like what Tracy said does resonate with me too. Is if you want to put a number on it, give them 5 days, but as soon as so you start that dialogue. And you're actually going to start talking to them about a whole lot of other things. So what I'm getting is there's the we there. We don't want the conversation to actually be just about travel, like about all sorts of things. Tracy said it earlier, is that they're like your confidant. You can share anything with them because their lips are relatively sealed, right? I mean, when I connect with them, and then I come in and it's like their microphone's turned on. Now, animals don't snitch. They sometimes snitch on each other. I've heard one's pooping outside the litter box and stuff like that. But or this one's chewing the legs of the couch. But they don't snitch on you. Like it's for a higher level, like rising up, the higher vibration. That's the intention there. Yeah. Is there another question for them there?
Well, they're okay when I'm gone, right?
Yeah, let me check in how they're feeling when you're gone. Yeah, I see that it takes a couple nights. It's taking a couple nights before they settle down, but that anxiety of once you go it's almost like at its peak and then it goes down. Okay. But I do see them long, like waiting for you. So you are always welcomed home. There's this like ongoing love for you. Um,
Hmm.
the ask is that you slow down, and there's also an ask that you slow down for yourself too. If you can kind
Right.
of like manage the travel a little bit more, because it seems like you're coming home and you're quite tired, and they're like, it's go time, and you're like, I need a moment. Like whether you're going long distances and you're a bit jet lagged or whatever it may be. So definitely a message of, do you need to go is the question. And I think you often ask yourself that too. It's like you just become, I'm seeing like the ball of yarn unravel. It's like once it gets momentum, or like a snowball, once it gets momentum, it's just kind of goes. And you're kind of in there going like, oh, how do I slow this down a little bit? So that's a little bit introspection that you can do for yourself, is to make sure that travel is necessary, because your animals are asking, do you need to go?
Yeah, it's just been amped up a little bit more this year,
Mm-hmm.
more
Mm-hmm.
frequent trips,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But,
Very accurate.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jerry. So you can travel with some
Thanks.
peace and have some tools. So thank you. Have an incredible day.
Thanks, Carrie.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. I think, Carter, we have Doris on the line.
Yeah, Doris from Ontario. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Doris.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, Doris.
So excited
Hey.
about the show.
Good. So happy to have you on.
I'm glad I got on today.
You have a question for Meg?
I do. I have a question for Bailey. A couple of months ago, we had made a big move from one house to another. He did not look very good. He was very anxious, and we have to do it again in another couple of months. So how do I get him prepared for this? Because I did not have anyone to watch him at that time. So he was with us throughout the whole thing. Poor little guy was shaking, which he didn't know what.
Yeah. I actually feel my head spinning a little bit, because he's kind of like, which way are we going? Like, where are we going? He can still feel, it's like he's in the middle of a tornado, right? Everything's still moving. Like, and he's looking around like, when is this all going to stop? Because he can still feel your energy going, like you're still spinning a bit. So he's just like, and that's where I'm getting a little bit dizzy. So I'm going to step away from that. So when I first greet him, I just want to mention this, because he is super cute. He's got this smirk on him. He's always kind of got this permanent grin. It's kind of yeah. It's like this, like he's kind of he's a cheeky looking guy. And it always looks like he's smiling, but he's not always smiling. And that's the message that comes through, is lately he's not always smiling. He might always look or be perceived to be smiling, but he's not always smiling. Okay, let's step into figuring out, we want him to prescribe something of how he can make it through. What, the next month are we looking at, or what is it, Doris?
Probably in the summer, I'm hoping. It's still up in the air, right? Like it's a plan for the summer, but it'll be in the next couple of months.
Okay. Does he have his own box of his stuff?
Yeah, he has. Well, I mean, he has his toys and he's his bed.
Yeah, so he wants to make sure that that's all together. He's very worried about where his stuff is, because that's what the familiarity is for him. So if the bowl, and okay, here's some more coming through. So where the bowl and the water bowl and the food bowl are, consistent places. Put them like, if it's a kitchen, if you're going to keep it in the kitchen, keep it in the kitchen. Don't keep it in a separate room. Or if there's a kitchen with a countertop, put it kind of near that, like put it in a spot that feels right for him. He says that where these spots are, and that you kind of do that intuitively.
Yes,
but it's just a reminder. So Doris, this happens all the time when I do readings. The people I do the readings with are very intuitive themselves. So I'm really just like helping you check the boxes. Okay, speaking of boxes, he wants to make sure that his stuff is kept in a box. I don't know if you can write his name on it. He feels like he's important too. So everyone's moving and he's coming with. He knows he's coming with. But the ask is just for some consistency in the meantime. I do see his stomach getting kind of upset. I don't know if he's actually throwing up, or what's coming up, or if it's coming out the back end, but I'm seeing like he's a ball of nerves.
Yeah, he's staring at me right now.
Well, yeah. That's the other thing that happens, is they get very like who are you talking to on the phone?
Yeah.
Telling my
yeah.
secrets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Is there something coming up when he's spitting up? Because I'm feeling like it might just be bile and that's just nerves. So that's
Yeah, he has
okay.
a couple of times, but like sometimes he just eats something funny and he lets it go. But
Mhm,
he, yeah, he's very sensitive in his stomach. Definitely. Yeah,
And
and
I feel like
even
this is more ongoing. Yeah, this is more ongoing. This is outside of the move. This is his perpetual crutch or ailment, if you will. He's just kind of always been struggling with a little bit of anxiety. So yeah, we're getting like clearing his energy, just like petting him, just like Tracy always tells everybody. We pet them down the back of their eyes, down the back of their neck, not the back
he
of their
loves
eyes. Yeah, and cast it away and just say thank you so much for serving me, and let's clear away any of that energy that doesn't serve you. Um, I'm getting I'm gonna ask him what's coming through here. I'm not really understanding if it's like it looks like a something to cool the heartburn because he's throwing up. He just needs something to alleviate that a little bit. You may, again, I'm not a veterinarian. You may take him to the vet and see if there's something, but I'm also getting, you can use something at home. Like there's a home remedy, almost like a Pepsid AC. Again, do not take this for verbatim, but I know some animals can take like a Pepsid or something for a little bit of heartburn. Okay.
Could I help him out energetically this way as well?
Mm, I'm seeing him being somewhat cooperative if you want to put him on his back, but you're going to have to do it at a time when he's already just chilled out. So you find actually he really likes that.
Love that.
Yeah, he likes it when you're you and he knows you know how to be strategic like that, how to go to him when he's already in a really passive and quiet, peaceful state.
And if he's lying down energetically, for people that want to understand how to work on your
Yeah.
animals, you actually would hold their stomach where Meg's talking about, and you would hold the
Mhm.
back. So similar to
Mhm.
when you work on a human, it's a similar way that how you would work on an animal. And
Yeah.
so you can do that and then readjust and then remove any also accumulation of anxiety he would be picking up from external sources. So you can actually pull that out of the animal. People don't talk a lot about how to move energy through their animals, but
Yeah.
it's very similar to a human. So you can do it the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what's
Totally
coming through it. Yeah, and Tracy, it's great that we're having this dialogue,
Yeah.
and I can kind of get what's coming through because with the moving of the energy, obviously that's your expertise, and then I get kind of what the animal is saying. So sometimes they prescribe things that are similar, but maybe even entirely different from what we know, because they're all unique, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a one fits all kind of
It
situation.
isn't. And animals know much more because their vibration is clean compared to humans because they
So
don't
when
have a thought process like we do. Yeah. It's
absolutely
very clean. It's very connected. Yeah.
So what I'm getting is also clearing down and out and up and away. So it's almost like you're working from both ends because, if he's got to admit something one way, versus like, I won't get into details, but you've got to clear it out.
It's like we say belly button up as a human, you go out, up, and then belly button down as a human, you push out, right? So animal, and I love that you brought that up because it's very true. When you're working energetically, great intuitive space because you want to go the easiest way out.
And that's where he's at. Yeah. He's of the same mind, like better out than in. So like, let's just go. I'm seeing literally from the belly, like, let's just go both ways. Let's just use both directions.
I love it.
He's generally good about that too, which is great. But the anxiety, I always wonder, if only he got taken away from his mom too early or something. I don't know where he came from. And he's been a little anxious furball from the beginning, the poor little guy. So we do as much calming as we can. But again, he definitely has something.
Well, oftentimes they come to show us some of what we have in ourselves, and it's not always directly correlated. So to be honest with you, you may be feeling as you move and ascend and you transition and things like that. He's picking up on that, and he's just trying to keep things away from you. He's trying to keep your energy clear. The other thing is I did pick up something from when he was a puppy that he may have kind of gotten, I'm seeing like a mother and little pups and almost like kind of getting kicked away a bit. Like he kind of got kicked away from his mom. Like there was a lot of fighting, not fighting. They all want to kind of suckle and things like that. But he really kind of lost that connection a little too soon. Okay. So I don't even know if he was actually the whole situation of how he was birthed was done in a way that was by people who knew how to do it or how to take care of
I'm
them.
sensing puppy mill. I'm sensing. I
Yeah.
got him at 8 weeks from somebody, and that's early. Like he was re-home to me at 8 weeks.
Well, there you go. Like I think,
right?
I think a bit of 8 weeks, and I think even sooner. I think he was just kind of shunned away, and it doesn't feel like the people like literally get the message like they don't know, they didn't know, they didn't have the know-how, they did not have the care, and there wasn't the care like that. Those initial touches from a human are so important to an animal, just as they are a child. Like it's very similar.
Yeah. And that's why we nurture him a lot. I mean, he's always with us. He's always cuddling. He was like on my shoulder all last week, over the weekend. And it was so cute, but he's never not with you. So we just give him a lot of cuddles. Yeah.
And just thank him for doing the work that he does, because he's working on all members of your family. So that's a big job if there's one animal, and that's okay. He's up for the challenge. Like this dog he's up for it. Like he's like, when he said that, when I got that message, he just came up, he propped up and he put his head up, and the chest was showing. So there's a lot of pride coming through.
Yeah. My little guy.
I love it. Thank you, Doris, so much for calling in.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Doris.
I just noted, I know we have multiple callers still on the line, and we're going to have Meg back because our hour goes so quickly. And it's just, I love again that like what you were saying energetically of shifting out the energy. You can do it with your animals or humans. And I think the more people understand how to connect with their own bodies, the more they can move out. I know we have about 7 minutes left. I'm asking our producer, and we will have Meg back on so you guys can get on the phones early. I know sometimes we get going, but can we just quickly, Kasha, bring her in and see if we can get just a couple minutes with her before we have to go?
Yeah, we have Kasha from Ontario. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kasha. Oh, did we lose her there? Hello. Oh, we may have lost her there. Okay, that's all right. So what we will do, like I said, so before we have to go, I can't believe our hour went so quick. I'm like, oh my gosh. So everybody on the phone, we will have her back. You can call back in. So stay tuned. You always want to watch the upcoming shows. I knew this would probably happen. What's the
good problem to have?
It is, everybody, and I love it. And before we let people know how to find you again, what's your biggest message for people to really take away with their animals and, being with them? And what do you want to tell people? Because I'm sure like me, you see things and you're like, stop doing that because, if you do this, you're going to get this. And just, you want to shout it from your heart. But what do you want to tell people really about their animals and their connection?
Yeah, I think, the biggest message is that we all can connect with our animals. We can all, and I don't mean just connect energy wise, which is a beautiful thing to nurture and to learn and to hone, but also to communicate with them. And if I can leave people with one bit of advice on how to do that, it's to get out of your own way. So you have to take that ego and tell your ego to go sit in that corner, in that chair, while you communicate with your animal. Because oftentimes what happens is you want to do something that you feel like your animal would love, or I think my dog or my cat or my horse would really like this. And you do it from a loving place. Oftentimes that's actually a message from them where you get an idea like, oh, that's been bugging, so-and-so for so long. And how do I fix that? And you get an idea and it works. That's your intuition coming in. So if you can just lean in a little bit more and you can listen and spend those quiet times with them, there's so much healing work that can be done. I actually just got an image of, placing my hand on my heart and that of the animals and just connecting with them and taking those quiet moments, because oftentimes we're just so busy wanting to make sure that they're okay, forgetting that they're oftentimes just want to make sure we're okay. And you can't hide your emotions from your animal. They always know. If you say, oh, I was really sad that day, but it's okay, I hid it from the cat. I said, no, they knew that the whole time. That's their job. They're here to serve us, right? So that would be my biggest takeaway, is to listen and to connect as best as possible and as much as possible.
Yeah, and really pay attention to what their behaviors are, because they, as you said, they have so many messages. The messages you brought today were so beautiful, so accurate, so confirming. And I love what you said about the communication, because when we stop and we listen and we communicate and watch and observe, like you said, they'll tell you if they don't like their food there. But a lot of times people don't listen. They'll just put it there because it's convenient for them. and really moving it around. You've been such a delight to have today. I am so grateful. Tell people again where to find you, how they can get a hold of you, and also how long are your readings for people who may not know?
Okay, those are really great questions. So you can find me at Modern Day Dolittle with 1o.com. You can find me on Facebook under the same name, as well as Instagram. Instagram is modern_day_Dolittle, however. So I do phone, email, and in-person readings. Yeah. Email is ideal for those people who are international. I've done readings with people across the waters in Singapore and Tokyo and whatnot, and they're about 12, 13 hours ahead. So we do through email, and there's also people who really want to have the dialogue so they can read and reread it. So email is really important that way. Other people are just private and they just want to have it and they don't want to get on the phone. Phone readings can be as short as 15 minutes, as long as 60. I can read multiple animals in a session, here and past. And in person takes a little bit longer. We take about 75 minutes to make sure we can get through everything. Perfect. Everything you want to hear.
I love it. Yeah. So thank you so much. People, please check out Meg. We are so happy. She's part of our TLC community, and I'm so happy you took the time to come here and share your gifts. And I just know they're going to go and expand even further. Your wait list is going to get pretty nasty like mine, but that's okay. It's a good thing because you're healing the world. So thank you so much. Check Meg out. Again, she's given you all the places, Instagram. You can also reach out to our office or check out on my Instagram, where you can also find her there. Go into the search and we'll make sure that you're well connected. So thank you, Meg. I can't wait to have you back again and really understand more of how you're helping heal the world with the animals.
Thank you. And thank you to the TLC community and all the support you've given me. I really appreciate
it. Can't wait to have you again. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in this episode. Check us out again next week on the Tracy L. Clark Show, where we're always here to shift you, uplift you, and expand your consciousness into the God consciousness so you can reclaim your life. So have an incredible week, everyone, and we will see you again next week. Same time, same place. Thank you for listening to the Tracy L. Clark Show with me, Tracy L., where I teach you how to live your extraordinary life. Tune in every Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where I combine ministry, science, and spirituality, revealing the steps you need to transcend perceived limitations. As a remarkable leader and pioneer in my field, I, Tracy L., will provide insights energetically and the tools required to move you forward. For more information on my partnership program, check us out at tracylclark.com.